a moment of special recognition. As chairman of the Rocky Hill Board of Education, it's my honor and privilege tonight to recognize our award-winning high school marching band and the band's very talented director, Mr. James Schumann. Mr. Schumann has been our band director since 2010. Under Jim's leadership, the Rocky Hill Marching Band and its membership has grown significantly and now boasts a contingent of 48 students. The marching band has consistently performed at a championship level in both state, regional, and national competition. Part of this includes the following impressive achievements. 2016 and in 2017, they were the Group 1A Connecticut State Champions. In 2019, they were the Class 2 Open New England Champions. In 2020, they took second place in the New England Creative Class National Finalists. This past season, the marching band placed second overall in the Group 2A Connecticut State Championship and third overall in New England. The band also placed first in competitions at Lyman Hall High School and Fitch High School. As a proud father of a Rocky Hill graduate and a current ninth grader in high school, I fully understand the importance of co-curricular activities in terms of rounding out the complete and comprehensive experience for our students. I commend the members of our marching band and Mr. Schumann for the time, effort, and dedication it takes to achieve this level of excellence. The Rocky Hill High School Marching Band represents all that's great about the Rocky Hill School District, and I congratulate each and every one of you on the very successful season. I'm going to ask board member Ms. Rolfe to assist me and also say in a few words in presenting some certificates that the board has prepared for the students in attendance this evening. Just in one moment, I just want to take it and thank you for all the hard work. Mr. Schumann, you and your team. Before I turn it over to Ms. Rolfe for 1 second, I just want to say I can't tell you the amount of times when I'm doing something at the high school that I see the marching band out there practicing, getting ready. I think they're out there more than any other team that we have at this high school. They're always there. They're always out there doing something. So I commend the team, Mr. Schumann, and all of you here for all of your efforts. With that, I'm going to turn it over to Ms. Rolfe.
Thank you, Brian.
And she's an alumni
Yes,
of two band members.
Three.
Three.
So, first of all, you stole most of my thunder. I was going to say a lot of what you just said. So I just wanted to give you just a little personal history of my family and band. So in 2010, my oldest son joined the band. He was in 8th grade. And I'll admit I was quite anxious to have an 8th grader join a band with the most senior members being seniors in high school. So there was a lot of anxiety in that. But very quickly, my anxieties and my fears were eased as the drum major, who actually is now on staff with the high school band, he took my son under his wing, and James became part of the group immediately. And as Mr. Dillon said, coincidentally, that same year, 2010, Mr. Jim Schumann became the band director. So I just wanted to give you a few highlights of what I've seen since 2010, and I should say my kids were involved from 2010 all the way to 2021 consecutively, so 11 years. So I've been with Mr. Schumann all that time. So just a few highlights. So what are the benefits of marching band for those that don't know? So along with the somewhat obvious benefit of increased musical ability, the students gain valuable and transferable life skills. Among those, and these are not all of them, are leadership, responsibility, humility, teamwork, time management, empathy, generosity, resilience, and problem solving. And for the most part, the students may not even realize they're experiencing and getting these life skills. Additionally, students earn high school credit for marching band because it is a class rather than an extracurricular activity or club. So those that join, even in 8th grade and prior to the start of freshman year, earn high school credit. Additionally, they go into high school with the benefit of already having a group of friends. So what can students expect when they join band? So two words come to mind when I think about this, and they are diversity and inclusion. So under Mr. Schumann's direction, and with assistance of an amazing marching band staff, parents, and student leadership team, they will find a cultivated family atmosphere that has been established, and it provides a sense of community amongst the band members. Additionally, students with varying levels of ability and experience are welcome to join the band, and they become part of the collective whose success relies on the contribution of each and every member. So everyone in band is involved in every performance. So my words of praise could go on, but I hope that you get the idea, as I'm sure many of you may not have ever experienced a marching band show. I hope that you will come in the future and come see these amazing students perform. I think are we gonna watch their
Yes,
show?
yes.
Yes,
Wanna
we
watch
have
that
a
first?
video.
Yeah, we do.
Before we get to that, I would just like to say that the video that you're going to see is this year's performance of the band. They did a show called Step Right Up, I believe it's called. It has somewhat of a circus theme, and you will see someone on stilts. You will see someone on a unicycle. You will see jugglers. You will see acrobats. You will see musicians, and you will see color guard. So I hope you enjoy it, and I would like to just extend my congratulations to the band, and it is truly an honor to sit here and speak to them and about them. As my fellow board members know, I speak about them quite often. Are they going to show it?
Yeah, they're gonna show it. Oh,
Yeah, why isn't it on?
that's weird.
Performing their 2022 program, Step Right Up, U.S. Bands is proud to present the Rocky Hill High School Marching Band. Step right up and get your fortune told. Marvel at our lion tamer and our flying trapeze. Test your strength and your nerves at our sideshow. Or spend some time clowning around.
Did it freeze or is that it?
No, that's it.
No, that's it.
Dr. Zito, myself, and Ms. Rolfe are going to announce some members of the band that are here tonight and present them with some certificates of appreciation from the board.
Mr. Schumann, why don't you come up here and join us? What would you like to say to the group tonight? Put you on the spot.
Good evening. I didn't know I was speaking, but something I'm getting used to. First of all, thank you for inviting us here and recognizing this terrifically amazing group of young people. It is amazing to be able to work and spend so many hours with students from 7th grade through 12th that put in insane hours and all just working together to achieve a common goal. It's absolutely a joy. We have hard times together, we have great times together, but we're always together. So I think the big thing for us is, as a group, coming together and trying to make the best thing we possibly can. We also have a lot of parents that are extremely helpful, supportive administrators, and an amazing marching band staff. So super proud to be a part of this team and very glad that you guys chose to recognize us tonight. So thank you.
Schumann. We're going to honor some of the students who came tonight, and we are very proud of you guys. You do a terrific job. You really represent the school district extremely well. So I'd like Brendan Stevens to come up. Maria Shake. Daniel Sialkas. Josh Fletcher. Congratulations. Abhinav Swaminathan. Parth Gohill. And Nathaniel Place. So again, we appreciate you folks coming out tonight. We're really proud of you. And I know you have a lot of homework to do, so you don't have to stay for the whole meeting.
Congratulations, everybody. All right, so we're going to move on to part 2 of the agenda tonight, which is audience participation, meeting open to the public. Is there anyone here wishing to address the board tonight? Yes, please.
I'm Shilpa Gohil, 9 Beecher Lane. First of all, congratulations to the band. My son is a senior too, and I have experienced last 5 years. It's like a community. A community, and it's like a second family to me. I'll never forget the experiences he got. And as Nancy said, I agree with all the qualities which he doesn't know he learned it, but he learned it. And I'm here to thank you all for getting the Diwali on the calendar. I was here that night speaking for it, and now I'm really proud that you include that holiday there. I just have one concern. You have given the holiday as a Friday. We would like to have it on Monday. So if you can consider, because Monday is the second day and one day is a holiday, which we celebrate as a New Year, because it's a Hindu New Year. And then most of our festivities start in the evening. So if it goes late in the evening, we would like to have the second day as holiday. So if you put it that consideration, that would be great. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else here tonight to address the board?
Hi, I'm Rajiv Desai from France Street, Rocky Hill. We would like to thank, behalf of the Indian community of Rocky Hill, we would like to thank you to make Rocky Hill as a diverse community, to have a Diwali holiday. Plus, I am requesting the same thing. Instead of having a holiday on Friday, I am requesting to have a holiday on Monday. Monday is a Hindu New Year. So we are requesting you to consider Monday as a holiday, because it's a Hindu New Year. It's the beginning of our new year.
Thank you.
And thank you again to all the board members and also the superintendent to have a special Diwali holiday for our own community. And Rocky Hill is growing, Indian community is growing. So thank you for your support, and we really appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Is there anyone else here tonight to address the board? Hearing that, seeing none, we're going to move on to the second part of our audience participation, report of student representatives. We have members of the high school student council here tonight. Are they here? Yep, here they are. Please come forward. Or what?
Hi, I'm Partha Gohil. And so for the October and November month, we have some updates. So we had Spirit Week from the 24th to the 28th, and we saw some high participation, so we liked that. And we had that week culminated with Pep Rally. It's the first one in 3 years, and the students definitely enjoyed it. The next thing on the list, we have the Veterans Day Advisory. That was... we saw about 20 veterans come into homerooms, and they talked about their experiences. Seniors got one veteran per homeroom. The juniors talked to a panel of veterans, and the underclassmen saw another larger panel who they all shared their experiences with. And we also took the ASVAB testing on November 15th, and it's traditionally considered a military test, but students were offered the opportunity to take that to assess themselves. Also with the band, we had the band banquet on the 15th, and auditions for the high school musical just took place on Monday and Wednesday, and there's some callbacks going on, and the shows for that are on March 31st and April 1st. Today we had Senior Cup. We had the first game of staff versus seniors. It was a volleyball game, and we hope to see more of those and just as much participation as we saw today. The Unified and Dream Academy also held their Friends Thanksgiving they're going to hold their Friends Thanksgiving on the 18th. Powder Puff is set to play on November 21st, and that's led by Mr. Dudas. The NHS induction is on this coming Tuesday on the 22nd, and we have a lot of new inductees, and we hope to grow our new peer tutoring lab in the mezzanine so students can further their education outside the classroom. There's also going to be a parents' informational meeting for the DC trip in October of 2023, which is for current juniors. Most fall sports are coming to an end or have already ended. And the last thing on the list today is the homecoming dance, which is on December the 3rd. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you. All right, moving on, we have our report of student representatives from Stevens School. I think Mr. Rand is here, yes.
Good evening, Dr. Zito, Chairman Dillon, and the rest of the board. It's a pleasure to be here this evening to share with you some of the great things that are happening at Stevens School. Before I begin, I just would also like to extend a congratulations to the band. I think your video may have enticed 2 aspiring band members who will be speaking to you very shortly.
That is great.
I'm going to let them introduce themselves to you. They've prepared some words, and they are ready to begin. They're going to also just be speaking to this PowerPoint with some nice pictures of the events that we've held so far this year. So enjoy.
Good evening, Rocky Hill Board of Education. I am Daniel Murphy.
And I'm Anna Cancelleri. We're third graders at Stevens School.
We would like to share some of the exciting things that have been happening at our school.
This summer, our building had a gym repainted and a large screen installed for our PBIS assemblies. We also had a Husky Cafe awning installed in front of our food service area. The custodians worked hard to paint and clean classrooms. Our IT department also installed 8 new smart boards throughout the building. Our biggest project was our new parking lot. Our parents love the parent pickup loop.
We held our annual open house for all grades in September this year, and for the first time held our kindergarten open house alongside meet and greet. Parents and families really enjoyed having these events held together before school. Students were able to ride the school bus to meet their special teachers. The PTO had our fall scholastic book fair and raised thousands of dollars for our school.
At the start of the year, our PTO hosted an amazing luncheon for our staff. Teachers were treated to Nas apple pizza and Nora cupcakes. The first big PTO event, Trunk or Treat, took place on Saturday, October 22nd at Elm Ridge Park. Students, families, local businesses, and Mr. and the mayor all came to be part of the event. We are so grateful for all the support our PTO provides for the Stevens School community. Thank you, Stevens PTO.
On October 6th, students from the high school came to Stevens School as a part of the Land of Paw program. They repainted some of the hopscotches and Foursquares games on our playground, created some of the bulletin boards, helped in our library and classrooms. It was a fun day for everyone.
Did you know that October is Fire Prevention Month? Well, the Rocky Hill Fire Department came to our school and sent teachers Miss Durand close to 100 feet up in the air. On their ladder truck. We learned important information about how to stay safe in a fire and having the importance of a safe place outside near our homes to meet.
Our PBIS assemblies are something that everyone looks forward to coming together for. We recognize the importance of respect and responsibility, which are the character traits we focus on as a school for September and October.
Students from Miss Bailey's third grade class led skits and performed for the school. Each third grade class will take turns being student leaders at these assemblies. Teachers recognize students who exhibit these traits with Husky Hero Spotlight Awards. We are always happy for our friends and classmates when they get recognized. We also sing our school song together. It's a lot of fun.
In October, Stevens School hosted Red Ribbon Week. Rocky Hill Family and Youth Services conducted a banner signing event during our lunch waves. Every student was able to sign the banner and pledge to keep our school a positive environment. We pledged to celebrate the diversity, honor differences, and spread kindness.
We wanted to share with you a few things that are happening in November. Our PBIS theme of the month is gratitude. We held our first annual Veterans Day Assembly in honor of the military veterans with a direct tie to Stevens School. 28 veterans attended, and we were honored by their children, grandchildren, or great-grandchildren with flowers. There were veterans in attendance that ranged from active duty to as far back as the Korean War.
Do you know what we will be doing at Stevens School in December, Anna?
I'm sure there will be lots of great things happening. One thing I think people here might wonder about is our next PBIS assembly.
Good thinking, Anna. It will be Friday, December 23rd at 9:40 a.m. We would love to see some of you there.
Thank you for letting us share some exciting news from Stevens School. We would like to present you with a small token of our appreciation for your support of our school. Have a great evening.
Love it.
Wow, yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, yeah.
So cute.
Oh, I know. What? That's fantastic. Look at that mug. Cool. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Cute.
It's very nice. I know.
Love it. Yeah, it's perfect.
Just so everyone knows, the elementary school reports are the best part of our Board of Ed meetings. So, it's great to see the kids here and reporting on what's going on in the schools.
I like that.
Thank you so much.
And I would just like to say, excellent job, Anna and Daniel.
Absolutely. Great job, guys. Thank you so much. All right, we are going to continue on with the meeting. Part 4 is the approval of minutes. We have the October 18th, 2022 Board of Ed Facilities Committee meeting, October 18th, 2022 Board of Ed Curriculum Committee meeting, October 20th, 2022 Board of Education meeting, October 26th, 2022 Board of Education School Safety Committee meeting, and November 10th, 2022 Board of Education Special Meeting. Does anyone have any requests for any edits, corrections, or deletions to the minutes? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Is there a second? Second. Motion by Ms. Manella, second by Mr. Slattery. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion passes 8-0. Thank you. Dr. Zito, any correspondence?
No, sir, no correspondence tonight.
No correspondence. Consent calendar, we do not have anything on the consent calendar tonight. We will go to committee reports. Curriculum.
The Curriculum Committee met to discuss the Washington, D.C. trip, which I believe, is there more reported tonight on the D.C. trip?
I do not believe so.
Nothing to report
No.
tonight?
Yeah.
Okay. So I believe the high school parents have received an email about the trip.
Yeah.
We're very excited that it's going to be offered for the seniors, the junior class, their senior year.
Yep.
And then we also received more information about the 8th grade trip in replacement of the DC trip. They're exciting occurrences that they'll receive this year.
Excellent. Any questions regarding the curriculum committee meeting? Hearing none, we will move on to facilities.
The facilities meeting committee did not have a meeting this month as we met just prior to the last Board of Ed meeting.
Right. Finance committee.
We have not met.
We'll be meeting soon. It's almost budget time again. Personnel and negotiations.
No meeting scheduled at this time.
Yeah, I do not believe we have any contracts pending right now. Policy.
Policy, at the special meeting, we did approve some updates to the Board of Education policy, and I think we'll probably be scheduling another meeting. Are those up for action tonight?
Those are tonight. Yeah, tonight is the second reading.
So then the
Correct.
second reading is tonight for the rest of the policy updates.
Yep. Board did approve at the special meeting the requirements for the DCF-related policies at that meeting. Any questions for Mr. Slattery regarding the policy committee meeting? Hearing none, we will move on to the Special Education Committee.
Special Education Committee did not meet.
Okay. Correct counsel, Mr. Desai is not here tonight, so I do not believe we have a report, correct?
No report.
And then the School Safety Committee.
School Safety Committee met. Dr. Zito provided some updates regarding the SRO program at the school. We now have a third SRO who is rotating the schools through overtime by the state.
Yep.
And we'll readdress the SROs, I think, in the budget process for next year.
I believe so. Any questions regarding the School Safety Committee meeting? Hearing none, we can move on to old business. We have one item tonight, discussion and possible action on Board of Education proposed new policies and proposed policy revisions as recommended by Shipman and Goodwin. This is the second reading for the board. As everyone is aware, we did receive the updated policies from Ms. Flynn, who coordinated the revisions with our council, Shipman and Goodwin. We did not have any questions at the last special meeting, which was our first reading, our first official reading of these policies. We can now open the floor for any additional dialogue or discussion from any board members. Any thoughts, concerns, or issues on the policies? Hearing none, I will entertain a motion to approve them.
Motion to approve the policies as stated.
Okay, there's a motion to approve the updated policy revisions by Shipman and Goodwin. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Ms. Lafredo. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion passes 8-0. Thank you. All right, now we are moving on to the big presentation of the evening. Ms. Listro, oh wait, Ms. Stevenson is not here tonight. I'm sorry, I hopped ahead. I'm sorry, Ms. Listro. Ms. Stevenson is not here tonight, and there's nothing to report, correct?
Nothing, no, she had nothing to report tonight.
Okay.
I think Chuck has a report.
I'm sorry, Mr. Zedegren, I hopped ahead.
All right. So enclosed in your board packet is a financial report through the month ending October 2022. In this report, I've highlighted some of the line items that we'll be keeping a close eye on as we progress throughout the year. It is still relatively early, so there will be some changes as we do move forward. We have met with each of the principals and administrators and reviewed their budget requests with them. We have begun putting together our preliminary budget numbers and prioritizing which initiatives and resources to include in our budget to the board for the up-and-coming 2023-24 school year. As mentioned previously to the board, we are anticipating our school lunch SMART grant funds will last through December 2022. This would allow the district to offer free meals to all students through the month of December. We will be sending out a notice to families by the end of November with this information. We also have an excess operating balance in our school lunch program and have made application to the state to use some of this excess balance to extend free meals, possibly through the March 31st, 2022 timeframe. We are awaiting feedback or approval from the state, and once we do receive that information, we will again notify board members and parents with that update. And lastly, the auditors are in the process of finalizing their audit processes, and we'll be receiving their reporting shortly on that. And that's it for my report.
All right, excellent. Any questions for Mr. Zedegren? We just had a pirate storm our meeting.
Who was wearing a dress?
Just to reiterate what you said, Chuck, I think it's great to hear that at this time at least we can extend the free lunch program through the year, through December 2022. So that's great news for
Yeah, that worked out
families
well.
in Rocky Hill. Absolutely, absolutely. All right, any other questions for Mr. Zedegren? Okay, now the big presentation of the night. Ms. Listro,
You want me to stay here? Or
however you want to present, whatever's easier.
maybe I'll just.
So most board members got a preview of this at our special meeting last week, and formally for our meeting tonight, Ms. Listro is going to go back over the results, but we've already been briefed about the wonderful things going on in Rocky Hill. So, Ms. Listro.
They really are wonderful. And I want to begin by recognizing my two esteemed administrative colleagues who are in the back of the room tonight. They are very integral to the work that we are providing the update on tonight. The first is Mary Schaefer. She is our language arts coordinator. And then we have Paige Weaver, who is our district math coordinator. So thank you, ladies.
Thank you for all your hard work.
All right, our assessment data is very positive. Just a few notes, a reminder that the results of statewide testing, tonight I'm going to report on the SAT, Smarter Balance, Next Generation Science Standards, Lost Links, and AP results. And really, this is just a snapshot because, of course, as we know, there is more than just how students perform on one test on one given day. So although I'm very proud of these results, I also want to acknowledge that it's just one data point. If you look in your binders, tab 2, we talk about the District Performance Index. For those of you, for some of you, this may be a new metric to look at. This is, the state took an average performance achievement for all the academic assessments. So that's both the standard assessments, the Smarter Balance, the SAT, the alternate assessments. And they created a metric to be able to compare all of them together. And that's what they're calling the District Performance Index. What makes this special this year is that because we have it calculated across the district, the state was able to compare the 2021 data with the data from 2018-2019, which is pre-pandemic. And their goal was to give districts an ability to look at what's being referred to as the pandemic learning loss. And as you see, I am so proud to report that Rocky Hill really had very minimal learning loss when compared to pre-pandemic times. You'll see here we had only a 0.6 loss in mathematics. And as you notice, that's compared to learning losses as much as over 7% in East Granby. Also on this slide, I just want to highlight an important comparison is how much money each district is spending. It's called the per pupil spending and the NCEP. For Durg D, the average spending cost is $19,964 per student. And again, I am proud to show you that Rocky Hill is spending $1,274 less per pupil. So pretty, as Dr. Zito likes to say in his budget reports, being very fiscally responsible and yet achieving pretty impressive academic gains. Looking at the ELA scores, same trend, very minimal learning loss, 0.7. And again, that is compared to Durg D, 24 districts in our Durg that look like us economically. And some districts had almost 5% learning loss. So again, Rocky Hill students are faring very well. For science, we actually had a gain, 0.1 gain for science, which is very impressive. And other districts, a couple did outperform us with gains, but still we are very, very proud of the stability that we're showing in our district. Before we go on to, well, okay, I'll keep going on. Durg B, now as you know, districts are grouped together based on their socioeconomic factors, the average median income for families, and Rocky Hill is Durg D. Above us is Durg B. And even in the more wealthy communities, you see here, Rocky Hill is third with respect to our learning loss. And I think that is very incredible. So out of 24 districts in Durg B, only 4 districts spent a lower amount per pupil. Again, impressive. With ELA in Durg B, again, same type of trend. We are third, meaning our learning loss was right up at the top of some of those wealthier districts. Very, very minimal. In science, same trend. And because we did so well compared to Durg B, we had to go on and compare ourselves to Durg A. That is our wealthiest communities. Our Weston, Wilton, Reading, New Canaan. And again, we are in the top three. So very, very impressive. Just to give you a point of reference, in Durg A, those districts are spending on average $23,782 per student. And even with that, our academic performance is right up there at the top. So very, very impressive. Not on the slideshow, but I did put it in your folders tonight. Because we did so well, I always think it's nice to look at the districts as a whole. So the state of Connecticut comes out with the ranking of the full 195 districts or reporting entities. You have to take this data with a little bit of a grain of salt because some of the entities are districts, quote unquote, a district, but they only have one school in it. So it might be a very small elementary school that when they get into the middle school and high school, they go into a regional school district. So here I shared with you, when you look at all 195 entities in math, Rocky Hill, it ranks 30th from the top.
Wow.
That is impressive. When you look at ELA, again, Rocky Hill's very impressive, 32nd across the entire state for minimal learning loss. And even in science, we are well above the top 50. We are 46. So I think that's really good news for our students, for our families, to know that our students really had minimal learning loss with regard to the past several years and the pandemic.
I thought that was a private school.
I don't know if you have any questions, if you want me to pause, or do you want me to move on to our next grouping?
Any questions for Ms. Listro? Please continue then. Thank you.
Okay. Moving on to Smarter Balance. I think at this point everybody's familiar. It's the online adaptive assessment that students take in May. Looking at the comparison with Durg D, that is the 24 towns that look like us, Rocky Hill is second with our academic performance in mathematics. And you see here, we're second only by 0.3 of a point. So we had over 60% of our students meeting or exceeding the standards on that test. It is a district comparison, and it does encompass all the students in grades 3 through 8 who took the test in the spring. Looking to ELA, or language arts, same exact trend. We are second in the Durg with over 72% of our students meeting or exceeding the standards set on the Smarter Balance assessment. And again, we are second really only to Stonington in Smarter Balance. And because we did so well in Durg D, I couldn't resist comparing our scores to Durg B. They are in your book. I didn't include them in the slideshow, but again, very impressive. we hold our own even against DERG B districts. Right there. Moving on, SAT. This assessment is given in March to our 11th graders. It's given during the school day. And again, looking at how Rocky Hill performed in mathematics on the SAT, we are second again. Second this time to East Lyme. And the data shows that over 54% of our students are meeting or exceeding what is expected of them on the SAT. Very impressive results for our district. You can also see, if you this slide is sorted by the percent of students meeting or exceeding, but if you look at the scale score, again, you see very impressive average scale score compared to the other districts. In evidence-based reading and writing, same trend. We are second only to East Lyme, with over 76% of our students meeting or exceeding the SAT standards. In science, that assessment is called NGSS, the Next Generation Science Standards, and this test is given in grade 5, grade 8, and grade 11. When looking at how Rocky Hill, the district average, fared compared to the other 24 towns in our DERG, again, very respectable. We're in the top third, with 62% of our students meeting or exceeding those science standards. The next test results in your binder are last links. This is the assessment given to all of our English learners, which are now being also called multilingual learners. And the 5-year comparison, Rocky Hill is doing amazing things with our ELs. They are right now holding their own at 28%. Passing those tests. Again, this is all of our ELs, so we are required to also test our newcomers. So usually what happens is over a couple of years, they do gain English proficiency and they will pass the test. I'm including this year a new metric called growth. It's a growth metric on the last links, and that's just a little preliminary heads up, because they are adding this assessment to the accountability report for our district. So we'll talk about this more at another time. But again, Rocky Hill is doing really well with students who are in our district and getting them to proficiency across the years. And our last assessment, although not a state-mandated test, it is an important metric, because the AP results help students gain college credit while they're in high school. And when you look at our AP achievement, you will see that our students are doing exceptionally well. A 3 or better, most colleges recognize for credit. And if you look at our 5-year trend, our students, we have increased the number of students taking AP exams. And that's pretty impressive given the fact that we've just come out of the pandemic. So kudos to all those students. And then some conclusions. Rocky Hill has so much to be proud of. Our students have maintained nearly the same level of learning achievement across the district in ELA and math from pre-pandemic 2018-2019 compared to last spring when they took the test. Our science achievement also has increased slightly across the district, and our Smarter Balance and SAT scores remain exceptionally high when compared to our DERG D colleagues. Our ELs, now called MLs, continue to achieve English language proficiency, and the number of students taking AP tests continues to increase. So those are all really good things for our district, and I have to credit all of the different factors. I mean, first and foremost, the strong leadership provided by the Board of Education during the past several years. I know it was a very difficult decision to remain open. There were lots of discussions on that, but as we see now in hindsight, that decision really did help our students stay in school and keep the learning moving forward. We had consistent and unwavering support of our administrative team, and that's all of our administrative team, from Paige and Mary, who are here tonight, who got the marching orders that we were staying open, and we made the decision to stick with our Rocky Hill curriculum. These two ladies went immediately into action and helped revamp everything, made it all accessible online for the students so that everyone could have the same high-quality education that they were exposed to prior to the pandemic during some of our most difficult and challenging years. And of course, the administrative team in the schools who helped make sure students were safe and teachers were safe while all of that was going on as well. So, of course, we've talked about this. Our teaching staff has been utterly amazing. During the year when COVID first hit, these teachers had to teach in person as well as remote at the same time. We've all talked about how challenging that was, but I think we see now those decisions really did pay off for our students. And then I'd be remiss if I didn't mention our nursing staff, who really helped make sure that students were safe and all of the security that needed to be in place in the schools so that learning could take place. And we had great support staff, paraeducators, secretaries, custodians, bus drivers. Everybody pitched in and made sure it was business as usual as much as possible. And I think all of that helped create trust in our families and our community, that we make good decisions for our kids, and our data proves that out. So, thank you.
Excellent. I think just on behalf of the board, let me start by saying that Ms. Listro, you, your team, Ms. Schaefer, Ms. Weaver, thank you for everything you did. I mean, I think the results are clearly here. Obviously, it's the entire Rocky Hill team, like you said, the teachers, the nurses, the paraeducators, but, I think thank you to everyone. Yes, the board made the decision to keep schools open, but, that was done from the guidance of the administration, and it was a very sound decision, and the results are here. So I think that's great, and thank you to everyone for all that you did to do it, because it really makes our lives easier to be board members to see these results. So thank you for all of that. And I just wanted to take a moment and then open up the floor to any other thoughts or comments or questions from any board members. No? All right. Oh, Jennifer, sorry.
That's okay. Ms. Listro, what do you feel is like our weak link we need to work on the most as a district, that we need the most improvement? I might have not been in this assessment, but what do you feel we really need to focus on to achieve the next level?
Well, my team and I meet weekly to discuss that, and one of the phrases we like to say is, we're very proud, but we're never satisfied. So we have a very talented team that oversees the curriculum, and we do review all of the individual student scores at the school level, and we're looking at identifying students that do have gaps and making sure that we're focusing in on them, as well as the students. We do have a handful that are still achieving above and beyond, and the wonderful ladies in the back are also looking at that and providing differentiation and enrichment so that every child can keep moving forward.
Excellent. Any other questions, thoughts, or comments from any board members? I know it's our, Ms. Manila, please.
I just want to say, coming out of a pandemic, I think I'm very proud to be part of this community, and am so thankful for the administrators, the staff, the teachers, the paras. It takes a village. And those numbers definitely show it. So thank you, everyone.
Great comment.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think feeding off of that, Ms. Manila, if I.
Yeah, please.
I just think it's a testament to the commitment, the dedication, and just like the caring nature of our of our whole school community. I think that's really what makes us such a great community, and I think it's exemplified in how all of this was executed. I think it's easy for us to make decisions, and I was not on the board at that time. Thank you to the board at the time for making those decisions. But I think it's easier for us to sit here and make those decisions, and then to carry those out. I think it really took a lot of dedication and commitment because I know it was a challenging time. So thank you for all of that, all the way through teachers, paras, nurses, everybody, the whole school community.
All right. Great report. Thank you for that, Ms. Listra.
I do have a couple other items, if you don't mind.
After that report, I don't know. Boy, all right. What else do you have? Please.
Well, I'd be remiss if I also didn't report on the Veterans Day celebrations at all of the schools, because we are in school, and I want to make sure everybody understands we do take that seriously. And at Rocky Hill High School, the students did a great job explaining that the veterans visited during an advisory period. I also want to add that during their next advisory period, those students will be writing thank you notes, handwritten thank you notes to the veterans that attended, which I think is a nice personal touch. Griswold Middle School hosted their annual fun run in Elm Ridge Park. They raised $1,600, which will be donated to the Veterans Hospital of Rocky Hill. And they have one more fundraiser coming up for veterans. I believe it's tomorrow. They're doing Camo for Coffee, where staff and students are paying $2 to dress in camouflage, and the money will be used to purchase K-Cups for the veterans, because that is what they said that they wanted most. At Mosier School, students are engaged in activities to learn and honor about our veterans, and the activities focused on teaching values such as bravery, freedom, patriotism, service, honor, and pride. And they created postcards that were delivered to local veterans in Rocky Hill Home and in the hospital. Stevens and West Hill Elementary Schools, I know you saw a little snippet, very similar in both schools. They held school-wide assemblies honoring local veterans who had connections to our own community. So the school was filled with parents, grandparents who were recognized and given gifts as token of their appreciation. And at Stevens School, we even had one staff member that was recognized, which we were very proud of. While my curriculum team is here, I want to recognize them. They're doing the circuit at the PTO meetings. Paige Weaver and Mary Schaefer were at the November 2nd Stevens PTO meeting, and they provided information on how parents can support their learning through these and shared resources that are posted online. Each of these ladies, along with myself, we have a pretty active and robust website that we showed the parents, and the ladies even gave out some free goodies to the parents that were there. On October 31st, in celebration of Manufacturing Month, students in Mr. Shigel's Advanced Materials and Processing class at the high school had a visit to Cary Manufacturing in Cromwell. And they got to see the manufacturing plant firsthand and learn about all the diverse job possibilities in a manufacturing field, not just being on the floor, but the accountants and the engineers and the creative team that creates the parts. So that was a really productive field trip. And then lastly, I just want to also say, in keeping with the theme of celebrating all of our successes, our last professional development day, November 8th, we did something a little different, and we supported teacher wellness. So we gave teachers the time to do something we don't normally do in this district, work in their classrooms. As you may hear me report before, Paige and Mary were usually pushing the professional development. They're running sessions on math and reading, but November 8th was a little different. We offered physical wellness sessions, a running class, Pilates, yoga, Tai Chi. We had a nutrition class with a cooking demo from our SNAP Ed partners through Sodexo. We had a healthy breakfast with the green smoothies. We also brought in, with Mr. Zettergren's help, we had a session on financial wellness and helping teachers understand the importance of saving for the future, and a session with Cigna so teachers could better understand all of the health benefits that we offer through our health insurance plans. We even had some guest speakers share strategies on living a balanced and healthy lifestyle. So it was a very productive day, and some very appreciative teachers for supporting their needs and having a little bit different professional development day.
Excellent. All right, any questions for Ms. Listro? Great report, thank you so much. We're going to move on to the superintendent's report. Dr. Zito.
Thank you. A couple quick items. As Darlene mentioned, the Veterans Day ceremony was last Friday. I mentioned this in the weekly update. I had the opportunity to attend the ceremony at Stevens. And as the kids, they did a great job. Like you said, Mr. Dillon, the highlight of board meetings is often the elementary reports. But well over 20 service veterans were honored that evening, many still on active duty, that morning rather. And as Mr. Dillon recommended last week when we adopted the calendar, we will continue to honor and recognize the sacrifices made by our veterans by having these ceremonies in our school on an annual basis each November, right before Veterans Day. It's a fantastic thing to do. I think the educational benefit to the students is really important. They really develop an understanding of the sacrifice that so many Americans have made to provide us with the freedoms we enjoy today. We wrapped up our initial budget meetings. That's first leg in the long marathon of the budget under Mr. Zettergren's watch, with all of our principals and the other administrators who manage individual budgets. So Chuck and I will now be working together to build the first draft, which is the superintendent's budget. And you will probably, I'll defer to Mr. Dillon on this, but he'll probably recommend a finance committee meeting at some point, early January, and then the official board workshops will start in late January. We'll get those dates to you shortly. Last week, you actually requested through board action that we provide lunch to our staff in recognition of the outstanding job they've done to support our kids with these outstanding scores and the high achievement all of our kids are achieving. So Darlene did a great job presenting that tonight. We discussed it at length. We're looking at providing those lunches to our staff the week of December 12th through the 16th. So I see one teacher here, Mr. Schumann. So there'll be a day that week, the high school, where we're providing lunch, and we'll do that each of the schools and the Dream Academy and Pathways as well. So again, as the teacher here, still hanging in there with the meeting, we are very, very pleased with the effort of you and your colleagues to help these kids achieve at high levels. And I'm the first to say that we know the impact that music has on learning and the way it helps the brain develop. So credit you and your colleagues in the music department, our art teachers, physical education, everybody plays a key role in helping achieve the results that you saw tonight. So thank you. And then my last comment is best wishes to everybody for a relaxing and enjoyable Thanksgiving break.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And any questions for Dr. Zito before he wraps up his report? Okay. Moving on to the chair's report. I have 20 minutes, Ms. Afraid.
Timing you.
No, I'll be very brief. I think tonight's meeting just showed the great things that go on in the Rocky Hill school system. We started tonight talking about the amazing achievements of our band in our high school over the past 3-4 years. We had a great presentation from the kids from Stevens schools. And the meeting got summarized tonight in conclusion with the great test scores going on in all of our schools. So this was a great board meeting tonight, and it really demonstrated the wonderful things going on in Rocky Hill amongst its various facets all throughout the district. So it's a really great meeting, and great things were discussed tonight about the achievement in the Rocky Hill School District. Like Dr. Zito, I want to wish all the community members of Rocky Hill, teachers, staff, administration, a wonderful Thanksgiving as we get ready to start the holiday season. I did want to briefly address, just there was some public comment regarding the calendar. We have adopted our calendar. It is in place. It can be changed. The item that was brought up tonight is obviously in November, so there's some time to make changes to the calendar. If board members can go back and talk to, their constituents in the community, I think the night we adopted the calendar, it was about 50-50, Monday versus Friday. So I don't want to rush into changing it only to have people come back and then ask for the day back. So I think we're committed to the Diwali holiday. We just need to confirm what day we think it should be, and we have time to do that. So I think it's not something that we need to rush into. So that wraps up my report for tonight, and with that, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn, so I'm not in trouble with Jessica. We have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Jessica. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Meeting adjourned. Have a great evening, everyone.
You too.